Welcome to Blind and Brown. This is the brown one, Cold Girl. I'm here today with a bonus episode, and we're going to talk about branding.
Hello. Welcome to Blind and Brown's first bonus episode. You know me as producer, and I wanted to give you a quick intro to why we're bringing you these bonus episodes. This podcast is a labor of love, and it feels right to peel back the curtain and let you peek into how it's made, the ideas, the lives, and the whims of the people behind it. Thank you for being here. We hope you enjoy.
I am a designer. This is really weird talking by myself for some reason. What an interesting exercise. Maybe I'll talk about talking to myself. Maybe I'll talk about branding. I don't know. I don't know what to ask. There's no one to talk to except for myself. Yeah, let's talk about branding. So I'm trying to figure out the name of our podcast, and I can't figure it out. Like, I'm having a really hard time. We've gone through a lot of names. I've listened to the episodes that have been edited, and we're really trying to make something that is easy, that fits the theme, obviously, and is just like easy to remember. Is Blind and Brown the name we should go with? Is it a little misleading? Does it seem that we're both blind and brown? Is it weird to talk about or name those things as the flags for y'all to listen to us? Aren't we more than that? And also, aren't we that? I guess I'm trying to just figure that out. Other options we've looked up already podcasts. And I feel like, we're joining this very saturated world of space. And I think, just in general, because of the way that marketing is, because of the way that our world is, we are an ever-expanding, exponentially growing brand space. So it makes sense that, just like a human's name, there will be brands with the same name. As long as they're not trademarked, we are okay, allegedly. I'm not really sure about the legal stuff. I do know the legal stuff from my end, from my designy space, in terms of copyright infringement and things like that. Maybe those are the correct words. Maybe I don't actually know, but I know what you cannot be sued for in the graphic things that I create. And I think that's good enough for me, at least. But anyways, we're talking about branding, about names, and it's kind of tough because whenever I used to draw, the name would come to me while I was in the process of creating. But with branding, there's this thing that happens where the name usually comes first, and then the logo comes after, or the brand identity comes along with or after. And no, mostly usually after. The name comes first. And I think that's so interesting when I think about my art process, where it comes in between. But how do I create the in-between moment without having an art practice surround? Actually, I think I just answered the question as I'm talking out loud to myself, to you. So I guess what I could do is I can start writing down some words that come into my mind. I can go through my branding process, but without a name. So usually my branding process, I will go through and I'll draw the name, I'll draw out words that come into, it's kind of like a stream of consciousness doodling session in a way. I'll go through and make little sigils or marks or play with font or text, color, and I'll play with the information that's given to me and the direction that I feel is competitive and right for each business or org that I'm working with. And then through that process, something will become aligned, something will click, and something will be aha, and then we'll move in that direction. So I guess in a lot of ways, I can do this without a name. I can bring together elements that we talk about. I can bring together elements that we are like and then draw the thing. And like, people can be like, oh yeah, cold girl, it's not that serious. You don't need to think about it conceptually like that. But like, honestly, when making a brand, when creating an identity, it be like that. It be that way. And that's why people should be charging the big bucks. And that's why it is a big deal. And like a lot of times people that are able to create these digestible, these easily recognizable, I don't want to say digestible, these easily recognizable symbols or easily recognizable points of recognition do this very inherently, do this very intuitively. And because they do it intuitively and because it's so related to art and in this space of like creation and like reciprocity of like, I'm giving you this energy and you give me back this energy, and it kind of comes together in a form of like almost magic. It feels alchemy almost, because you're putting things in and then there's a reaction and you're reacting to it, what feels like yourself. But I do believe we're reacting to some sort of energetic thing that we're picking up on while we're in flow, while we're creating. I do believe that this is a alchemical sort of practice. And everything is magic, like the big CEOs, like they create things, they make decisions, and they're going to be like, yeah, I just know everything. No, they won't. Not all of them are bad. Maybe they all are under capitalism, actually. Anyway, branding, back to branding. Yes, I do believe there is an alchemical sort of magic that happens, and there is a way that we interact with the page or our markers and our clients to create something that really speaks to the communities that we are trying to serve. And I believe that that is the way that we should brand, and that is the way that I can create the name for this podcast, or not necessarily the name, but the branding elements that will lead to the name. And maybe I don't even need to come up with the name. Maybe the name is already here. Maybe we are Blind and Brown. Maybe that is the name. Why am I resisting it? Is that another episode? I guess we'll see. I'm going to go work on this process. We're going to go do some magic, do some graphic design alchemy, and we'll see you later. This is Cold Girl. Bye, y'all.